Investing in your education on farm is paramount to your success, both before you get on the land and when you get on the land and as you continue throughout your business. Now, to invest in my education, I went down to an APA conference, the American Pastured Poultry Producers Association in Texas, and I interviewed a whole bunch of people so that I could share their information with you and you could shorten your learning curve, and by watching my videos, invest in your education. And we went with Ike today. Ike is self-described as one of the oldest beginning farmers in the Hudson Valley, or in New York. I think it's Hudson Valley. And he had some great words to say, and it's just like, it rings true for everything I've done here. And we're going to go outside, and at the end of this video, after you listen to Ike, I'm going to give you one of the instances where learning would have helped me progress a little bit further, a little bit faster on my farm. But without further ado, here's Ike and his answer to the question, what is one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you were starting out?
So my name is Ike Malula. My brother and I formed Red House Ranch in Vanette, New York. It's about 30 miles south of Ithaca, New York. And we do beef, pork, eggs, turkey, and chickens on a totally pasture-based model, yes. So, you know, it's funny, we started planning this over almost 10 years ago. By chance, I happened to hear Joel Salatin and Greg Judy at a conference, and I never knew who those guys were, but that was the inspiration, and I started planning, you know, many years ago, and little did I realize that that was nowhere near enough planning. Now that we're actually boots on the ground on our family farm, there's so many more details that I wish I would have thought of. We've attended lots of conferences. I wish I had attended more conferences and even paid more money to get more education, because I like to joke, my brother and I we're the new old farmers, right? We're in our 60s, where a lot of people in this are starting out as kids compared to us. So we don't have time to make mistakes. So it's really valuable to spend the money and spend the time with the people that have been doing this for 20 years, like some of the people here at the APA conference.
Thank you, Ike, for taking the time to let me interview you and sharing your words of wisdom with us here on the Farm Marketing Solutions YouTube channel, and just by your presence at the APA conference. Now, for my take on Ike's answer to the question of one thing you know now that you wish you knew, and gathering information, doing your research and planning, is my hop yard. If we had known more about hops and how hops grew before we planted the yard, we would have done things a little bit differently. We would have turned over the soil a little bit more. We would have had more aggressive and more soil tests initially, would have done more mending in the beginning, and it would have gotten us a little further along. Also bringing on somebody to help deal with water, because we get a lot of water on our property. And I've actually kind of squeezed the hop yard in the back, just because there's nothing I can do without getting super aggressive that will dry out the back of the yard, and those hop rhizomes have just rotted out. So if I had put a little more effort into the piece of land and the hops and the plant from the outset, we would have been further along. But that was part of the trial and error. That's part of learning as you go and investing in yourself, your farm, and just your knowledge base to make everything work. Now, tomorrow we're going to have Kaisa talk about budgeting and how important budgeting is, and that if she could just go back in time and let herself know that budgeting is everything. For me, we'll get into that tomorrow, because we don't need to talk about it now. If you want to shorten your learning curve, if you want to invest in the future, I think it's like $60 for a year or two for the APA conference, or for the APA membership. I am a paying member, and I'm not getting anything special for sharing these videos or giving these plugs. I don't want the free membership. I think with stuff that is free, if you get it for free, it's going to sit on a shelf because you're like, oh, I got it for free, and that's great. If you pay for it, if you invest in yourself, you have the responsibility to make good on your investment and to utilize it. And with APA, you get every single penny returned back to you by them helping you with your marketing and getting the word out about pastured poultry and the industry in general. And then you have the APA forum, where you can ask any question, any pastured poultry question you can possibly think of, and you'll get answers from other professionals from all over the country, people who are doing it at scales of 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 80,000, and up to, I think the biggest one was 300,000 birds in 1 year. And all of those people are in that forum answering questions. If you have any further questions on what APA is all about, go to apppa.org and check them out, appa.org. And for now, I'm going to go back inside and continue on with my day. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, I will see you out in the field.